Being a successful kitchen designer is not about knowing all the tips and tricks. It's not about being a power user in a 3D rendering software. It's not about going to design school or knowing all the NKBA regulations. It's not about the brands you align yourself with, or even how much experience you have. As I look back over 2 decades of kitchen design, there are 3 key elements that I recognize have led to my success. Elements that have helped me land jobs for NHL players, members of parliament, CEOs of companies, and many, many people just like you and me who've always dreamed about having a new kitchen. These 3 elements you can take with you into any industry and a lot of areas of life. They apply broadly, but as I look back over my career, these things have really helped me to be successful. Number 1 is attention to detail. This is what takes a good kitchen designer and turns them into a great kitchen designer. Being attentive to all the details of the whole design process. Attention to the client's needs, to the design, to the pricing and the layout and the ordering and the confirmation of that order, to receiving that order and sending that order out, to the installation of that kitchen and all that happens in that process, to the after sale and dealing with the customer afterwards. Attention to detail in all of these areas is really key in being successful in a service-based industry, especially kitchen design. It doesn't matter if you're designing a kitchen with stock kitchen cabinets or something that's highly customizable. This really applies to every type of kitchen that you can design, which means it's important not to rush through the process like just to get paid. It is vital that you take your time and give the client exactly what they're coming to you to receive. When a client knows that you are invested in making sure their job goes well, they are so much more relieved in dealing with you and feel a lot better with handing over probably a lot of money to you. This is probably something they've been saving to purchase for a long time. And when they know there's somebody who is really invested in making sure that the job gets done really well, it is a big relief for them. When we are attentive to detail, mistakes happen less often, and when they do happen, they're much more forgivable because the client knows that you're really working hard for them. And it's kind of obvious that yes, you should be attentive to detail, but you'd be surprised that as you get into a job, you can tend to rush through things, especially things that you're used to doing. I can design a kitchen almost without looking at the screen. It becomes second nature. I know where everything is. I know how to use the program. You know, I've been doing it for so long that it's almost easy. And that's a real issue because that's when mistakes get made because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm clicking through things, I'm designing things without paying attention, and I end up making mistakes because I'm not paying attention to the task at hand. So this is why it's important to be present with the job that you're doing. Invest that mental capacity into doing that one job until it's finished. Do it the best of your ability, and you will have great success. The number 2 element that I attribute to being successful seems kind of counterintuitive. It's the jobs I didn't take. Saying no to certain jobs was definitely a key that I had to learn in order for me to be more productive and more successful in my career. Now, this can be as simple as maybe there's a client that you just don't think you can work with, or maybe there's a job that is outside the scope of what you think you're capable of doing, and those jobs are okay to say no to. And I'm not saying this so that you would not do something that really pushes you or that challenges you. I'm all for that. But sometimes you gotta know when to say no to a job. But this really applies big time in the sense that you can get so overwhelmed with workload because you want to say yes to everything. Because every job, every client is a sale. And maybe the company you work for really wants you to get sales or meet a target, and you need to get margins up. And there's all these things that you're trying to work towards. And so you say yes to every single person that comes through the door. What happens is you get overwhelmed with work that you can't finish in a reasonable amount of time. I've had people comment to me, I've had people say to me, I went to such and such a place to get my kitchen and it took them months to get back to me with a design. So they got frustrated and they went somewhere else. It is much better for you to do an excellent job on a few projects than do a mediocre job on many projects. In the early years of my career, I'd say yes to every single job. And it wasn't long before I had a stack of designs I had to get through, knowing full well that all these designs, which I promised I'd get back to within a week, was going to be basically impossible. So what ends up happening is you sift through, you find the ones that are the easiest to do or that you think you're going to like more, and you put the other ones aside. And when they call, you ignore the phone call or something ridiculous like that because you got too much going on. People would rather hear you say, hey, listen, I can't get to this for a few months, but after that, I would gladly take on this job, than to say, oh, definitely do it and I'll have it to you in a week. Knowing full well that you're not going to get back to them in a week, they're going to be frustrated, you're going to be frustrated, it's just not going to go good. You're going to end up with a reputation that says that person never gets back to their clients. Here's why this is really important, is because your name is attached to every single job that you do. And your name is your brand, and it is your livelihood. And because of that reason, you want to make sure that your name is good. To the best that you can. Of course, you're going to make mistakes, like I said, you're going to do things, you're going to get overwhelmed by accident, but as best as you can, do everything you can to make sure you don't get overwhelmed, and saying no is a reasonable answer. If they have to wait, if they really want to deal with you, then they'll wait. If they want to go somewhere else, then they'll have to go somewhere else. But it is better for you not to be overwhelmed and disappointing customers and making a bad name for yourself than taking on too much and just bleh. So definitely saying no has been a key for my success over the years. And the third element which has led to my success as a kitchen designer, and probably the most important element of all of these, is client-designer relationship. Prioritizing my relationship with my client has been absolutely vital. The people who walk through your door to get a service from you are not just a sale or a job. You have to look at them like people. And people are relational. You don't have a relationship with a job. You don't have a relationship with a sale. You have a relationship with people, and it's in that relationship that you'll find the greatest success. People are probably spending anywhere from $1,000 to $100,000 for a kitchen. And that's a lot of money either way to invest and give to somebody to say, here's my kitchen, please do the best job you can with it. They hopefully have heard your name from somewhere else. Hopefully you've already created a good name for yourself. And so when this person comes to you, you don't want to just see money signs. You want to see a person that you can deal with, and effectively through that relationship, give them something that they came to receive. And it's important that you listen to them, that you're honest with them, and that you're upfront about your abilities and what you can do and what you can provide for them. And this relationship pays off in the long run. They are much more comfortable in referring you to their sphere of influence. People that will come to their home and see their kitchen and say, where did you get that? And there's two answers. Well, I got it from such and such a place and I dealt with Mark and he was amazing. Or I went to such and such a place and I dealt with Mark and he was horrible. Don't ever go there. It's one of the two answers. And if you have a good relationship with your client, then getting a referral from them is much, much more likely. And if you take these three elements, attention to detail, saying no to certain jobs, and prioritizing that relationship with your client, it is a great recipe for success. I hope you found this video valuable. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody. Also, if you're looking for a complete online kitchen design solution, check my link in the description below for all the details. And if you've liked this video, chances are you'll like one of these two videos. If you're still watching, you know who you are. Comment down below, superstar. Until next time.
Dun, 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 dun. Tobin's Kitchen Design. Dun, dun. I should work for you.
Done. You're done. You're hired. You're part of my team.